Stacey BrooksClark is in my booth. I am so excited to have you. It's feeling weird to shake your hand. We've known each other for almost 20 years, and we're on a hugging basis, but we're all mic'd up, and we have to sit and to shake hands. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
So what we're doing today is we're kind of the sights and the sounds of the conference and doing this sort of podcast and live from the booth, pulling in attendees, pulling in speakers. You have been in and around Pyra, you've been a volunteer, you've been in HR, you've been in the LA space for years, and I would just love to give the audience maybe a quick tour of kind of who you are, what your kind of HR background is, and your relationship with Pyra, and just let the folks know the royalty we have in our chair.
Oh my, well, I was launching my HR career probably around 2002, I think.
Okay.
And someone suggested I join Pyra, and I did, and I immediately became, I think, the membership chair because she quit. And so after doing that for a couple of years, I became the diversity chair, and then after that, I became some other chair. I can't remember. This is a long time ago, you guys. And I've been volunteering with Pyra for decades. And my last position was with the VP of Emerging Affairs and Students, which I loved.
Yes.
We did launch the YP.
Yeah.
And
is that Young Professionals?
The Young Professionals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I did
Do you
that
have
with
anything to do
Lily.
with the college folks that were? I love Lily, by the way, but sidebar. There was some Cal Poly people or something? Or?
Not anymore.
Okay.
They booted us out. Once it took off, it was so much fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
Right on.
So now I am volunteering every year with the Pyra Conference.
Yeah.
I do the lead work because I've been doing it for so long. So I can work right there.
You've always had a day job. I've known you to be with educational organizations, union organizations, lots of different types of folk throughout your HR career. Curious when you with all of your interactions and decades with Pyra and career in HR, when you still come to a conference like this, you come in person, and I think that's a testament to the spectrum of folks that show up to this type of event and come out in person. What are you looking forward to most in the conference today, tomorrow? What have you seen that you loved?
Well, the people, of course.
Yeah.
And while yes, I have a plethora of experience in HR, sometimes there's a reminder factor of something that we do on a day-to-day basis, or just somebody that you pluck that 1% of something that you trigger something that you might be dealing with in the moment. Yeah. And so then you go to that one particular session and they sort of bring it to the forefront. Yeah. And then you can go back and share that information, or and I actually did learn something today that IBM has a AI class that you can go to. Yeah. I'm like, well, how about that?
For free or?
No, $50 a month.
Okay, all right.
So see?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. That's exactly why we're doing this podcast, is to touch on stuff like that.
So see,
the T stands for technology, so I'm glad we're touching on that.
Everybody, AI is the hot topic.
Yeah, man. Well, it's today's advent of the internet sort of a thing, right?
I could not live without Alexa, or so she thinks.
Yeah. Good deal. I saw some meme that said, I accidentally called Siri Alexa, and I can't believe I have to live in a world where I'm mixing up the names of my AI bots.
She probably said, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Who? What? Who is this Siri you speak of, right? But so, okay, cool. Well, so the people and some good information, some good tracks. What, in your estimation of kind of the lay of the land of HR today, what's something that keeps you up at night, or something that's kind of on the forefront of your minds?
I would say the biggest thing would be the culture. Mm-hmm. There are multiple of the organization. Yeah. I am doing consulting, and whether I'm doing consulting on a major project for a more mature company, or I'm helping a startup company, it all still boils down to the culture of the organization and sort of where they are and where that buy-in is. Mm-hmm. So ensuring that everyone is in the right mindset for whatever I am trying to.
How do you measure
done.
that? How do you like put your finger in the air and get a sense of the culture?
Several different ways. If I am training them on a certain thing, then of course I can put myself out there,
Yeah.
my feet on the fire, and get. You're laughing.
Yeah. Well, because I know you're not shy to do it if it needs to be done.
Some training feedback.
Yeah.
I can do several different types of surveys.
Yeah.
I can do a focus group. So or you can do like Amazon is starting to do right now. Is just every day when someone clocks in, they get a question.
Yeah.
And then when they leave, they get another question.
Oh, how interesting.
So, yeah, because their turnover was just it was rigid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can just start to do simple things,
Yeah.
micro surveys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to start to figure out what needs to change.
And how, when you utilize these tools to figure out that there may be a shift required or recommended, how are some of the what are some of the levers you pull to actualize this shift?
That's a really good question. So, the majority is what speaks the language, and then there's this another tool that you put in place. It's all in the toolkit.
That's right.
This is figuring out how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
There's no wrong, right way of how we do it,
Yeah.
but we present this to the C-suite and how the survivor is how we're going to figure it out.
So is that an initial path forward? Is after you've made an assessment, you go, oh boy, I think that the following things should really be addressed. You like to go to the C-suite and sort of start there?
Well, we're going to say what this looks like.
Yeah.
What does this look like? We're going to start with the end in mind, and figure out from that end what the steps are going to be like to sort of meet this in the middle. What the return on investment if we do these things and how it's going to happen.
Because you'll maybe identify something, go to them and say, now guys, I've got a recommendation, but I need to know what does your success look like to you, right? Where's the end goal to you?
Yes.
Where do you want this to go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is my recommendation because this is what I have the numbers look like.
Yeah.
It's always about the numbers.
It's
always about
something
the numbers.
about business, huh?
Yeah, I know. So now if it's like a satisfaction survey, you have your employee engagement survey, then you have your customer satisfaction survey. Well, somewhere those are supposed to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And if they're not cohesive, then there's a reason why. So then let's take a step back. And
you mentioned Amazon clock in, clock out stuff, and I've heard other semi-interesting kind of live survey stuff where like maybe you'll have IT kind of put it on people's computer when they log in and stuff like that. You have thoughts on that? You like it? You think
I
it's
do
smart?
like it.
Yeah.
Because you have no choice.
Yeah, right. You want to move on. You want to answer this email. Answer this question first.
Put your feet right in the fire. And it's first thing in the morning. You don't have that much time to think about it.
Yeah.
And you just whatever that is, whatever that looks like, and then when you go home. So hopefully it's not everyone's going to be candid, but a lot of times if employees are fed up with it, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, here.
So that's a good question though, because I imagine their candor is tied at least in some way to their confidence in the anonymity. And I wonder, how do you get employees to really believe that this will be an anonymous survey and this won't be one of those things that it's actually we know who said what and we're a little peeved off about it?
It's a computer, it's not anonymous.
Yeah. But then do you find employees maybe pulling their punches? Because they have that, I have that same thought where I go, it's a computer. It's not, darn well, unless you have this third party that really scrambles it, you're going to know it came from me, and I don't want to piss off my manager.
Well, it's about consistency. So if you ask the same question several different ways, there's going to be some consistency on, was this a bad day? Or is this really how this person feels, over several different questions on consistency.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really smart
it's
answer to that.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it's asking the same question in different ways, right? And that's what, I don't know, a personality assessment do. They're not going to ask you, are you introvert or extrovert, right? They're going to ask multiple different ways about how you get your juice and how many people and blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that little nugget with me. If we have any listeners out there that are in the craft of HR and something we didn't maybe get a chance to touch on, you have any other words of wisdom, or come to events like this and network? Or
Well, I would say definitely if you're not a member of PIRA, or if you're not linked into PIRA, no pun with that.
Yeah. But also link into PIRA. Yeah.
Then you should absolutely join and get more involved. It's a priceless membership to be in, and you should be involved. One of the things people always say is, "Oh, you know so many people," but that's because I purposely got very involved with PIRA and have stayed involved for many years.
Can you say, and I don't mean to make this a PIRA plug, but has that changed the arc of your career, or landed you jobs you might not have otherwise had, or maybe vendor partners that were a solution when you needed them?
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that, absolutely. And even with you know that there's sometimes I just had questions about things, and I'm like, I kind of need your advice on something.
A long time ago, you were like, hey, I'm interviewing for an employer. My historical knowledge is in fully insured benefits. These will be self-funded benefits. Can we talk? And it's like, absolutely, here's a free ear and an expert in this space. Yeah, that's a good example.
So one thing, and even now I have colleagues that call me when their HR professional is not giving them the right information. So having people that you can trust, that you can call, that even will give you that information that you need, or can lead you in the right direction, so you're not all over Google.
What's a good HRIS or HCM?
So building your network so you can have people that you can trust and that can support you without asking anything in return except wanting to see you succeed. There you go.
Stacey, I'm coming for that hug. I want it on
all right.
That seems to be a suspicious